Hey, so welcome to episode 1 of my beekeeping vlog brought to you by Beekeeping Apprentice. You know, with beekeeping, the more I learn, I guess the more there is to learn. It's amazing how it very much is a journey. It's something that you have to be patient. It takes many, many years, and you know, each year and each season, I'm just learning more about it, and you know, my fascination only continues to grow. So what I thought I'd do is start filming all the things that I'm learning and evolving. And each week I'm going to come out with a vlog where we'll go behind the scenes of different beekeeping businesses. We'll review some products that I'm purchased and having a look at, and really see what some other people are doing. Go inside of their apiary and meet the people within the industry. Today I'm going to travel 3 hours just northeast of Melbourne to an area known as Meadery. Hey guys, here we are at, we've just arrived at Meadery, and we're, it's part of the Meadery gourmet region. You know, two of my big passions in this world are wine and food, and obviously beekeeping. So we are basically going to get to see them all here today. Come on the journey, let's go. Hi everyone, we're actually at the Beechworth Bakery. It's considered to be Australia's, one of Australia's best bakeries. I just noticed something really interesting here. They have a phone number, and their phone number is 1300 bee sting. Something all you beekeepers can remember. We're basically heading there to, well, at least today, to put on hold my love of food and wine, and really to focus on one of the many byproducts of an amazing apiary, and that is Mead. So today I'm visiting a business, or actually two businesses, one known as Walkabout Apiaries, which obviously produces amazing honey, and the other part of their business is Whiteheads Meadery, which is, I'm finding fascinating. I can't wait to try some of these products with them. I know they've got so many amazing meads to offer, and meet the guys there at Whiteheads Meadery. There's a couple of things I thought I'd share with you about mead. I mean, most people know that beer is made from fermented grains, wine is made from fermented fruits, and mead is obviously made from fermented honey. Now, the interesting thing is that mead obviously in recent years hasn't been quite as popular, but it is actually one of the oldest, if not the oldest, alcoholic beverage known to man. Something you might not know about mead is that its real claim to fame actually came out of the origins of wedding celebrations, and basically that is where the word honeymoon came from. So basically, as the theory goes, that when two people got married, there was traditionally a sort of celebration for literally about a month after the wedding, and they'd have this month-long celebrations, and the whole goal of that was to really bear a son, for the woman to fall pregnant and have a son. So apparently what they did is literally send the bride to bed, and the male would just be filled up with loads of mead until he was so drunk he could barely walk, and then he sort of presented to the bride, I assume, to do the deed, and basically with the objective of delivering a son. Now, 9 months later, assuming she fell pregnant and the guy didn't fall asleep, basically if it was a son, it was considered that mead was a really high quality. Anyway, there's a lot of reading you can do about mead and the word honeymoon, but that's where honeymoons came from. But fortunately today, I'm not having to do any fertilization. There will be no need for me to create another son. In actual fact, I'm actually taking my 10-year-old son with me on this tour. We're having a little bit of quality time together, and I'm really looking forward to this drive and going to check out this meadery and meeting the guys at Walkabout Apiaries. So come on the journey with me. I hope you enjoyed my first vlog. How's that breakfast?
Really good. Yeah.
Where are we?
We are at a place in Beechworth for Beechworth.
Oh. Here we are at Walkabout Apiaries in Whitehead, Meadery. This is an interesting business. It's in Millawa in northeast Victoria. It's about a 2-hour drive from Melbourne. We've come up the highway for about 2.5 hours drive with my son. It's a commercial beekeeping business. They, as I said, they produce mead and of course honey, and do also a few little candles and so forth. They've got 1,200 hives that they move around chasing the various honeys, looking for the best honey of the season. Given it's a rural area, they have the challenge of different seasons producing different nectar and honey flow. So they have to move their beehives quite frequently, quite often several times a year, to produce the best quality honeys that they can. Today we're getting a little bit of a tour, a taste testing of some mead, which is I find fascinating. The different flavours in mead is incredible, and also seeing them bottle up some honey in their apiary. And they've got one honey which I'm going to take home with me. They call it their bloody good honey, so I'm excited to see that. So yeah, join me and we'll have a bit of a look.
Cool. Well, we've got 4 meads that we make. The thing about mead is to remember it's not always sweet.
Yeah.
So just because it's made from honey doesn't mean it's always going to be really sweet, because the sugars are fermented out, just like when you make a wine out of grape juice. Mead is basically honey and water, and it's yeast, and it ferments it out. So the sweetness can get turned into alcohol, just like wine. So this is our dry. It's classic dry. So it's just honey. Go nuts.
Thank you. So how long have you been making mead?
Well, Rodney started. That's Dad.
Yep.
In the 70s.
Yes.
And there's a couple of 44-gallon drums out the back. It's still there. It's pretty rotten stuff. It's good mead.
So does it get better with age, mead?
Yeah, mead. Well, we didn't think so to begin with, because everything we read said mead's a bit like a fruit wine, where it's ready to drink once it's made.
Yeah.
But certainly what we found is it does soften a lot like wine, and I don't know if that's a result of using the different honeys that we use, because we're using Australian eucalypt honeys to make all the different meads, whereas traditionally you'd use a very simple honey from a European base, whether it's from orange blossom or clover or something like that, which is very. And
that massively affects the flavour of the honey itself. A little bit
certainly can, and introduces a lot sort of different variables too. Different types of like the way the sugars behave and the way it ferments can be very different based on the honey.
Yes. So,
yeah. Traditionally darker honeys is more difficult to work with, because there's just more active things going on. So
yeah, okay.
So you can get some pretty wild sort of flavours out of a dark honey.
Yeah, okay.
But to simplify things, you'd use a lighter honey, a simpler sugar.
Okay, okay. It's interesting that almost tastes like a little bit of Scotch type sort of impact on your mouth.
Yeah,
I mean, you really can't taste a sweet flavour of what's traditionally honey.
Yeah, I think there's a residual sweetness in there
at the very end of the palate. Yeah.
But the Scotch character is also coming from the fact that it's been barrel aged.
Okay.
So that particular one is a combination of 2 meads that we made. One based on an ironbark honey mead,
yes,
and that's that very dry component, and a little bit of residual sweetness, and the oakiness is actually coming from what we made from the stringy bark, which you'd find in that bloody good honey.
Yeah, I love the name of that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the bloody good honey. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, it's our pick. You'll find that in the house. We'll
that's what you have on your own dinner table.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are we trying here? This is the spiced.
So spiced mead. So traditionally, a spiced mead would have been used for its medicinal purposes. You know, adding spices was and still is believed to, have positive health benefits. So in this we've got cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we do it for flavour. We like the taste. You might also have it warmed up.
Yep.
So once you do that, you bring out those aromas.
You could almost have it in like a cognac glass sort of thing and warm it up.
Yeah. And
how would you warm it up if other than say in your hand? I mean, you don't want to heat it to too high a temperature, do you?
No. Look, I usually just pop the bottle in a pot of hot water.
Yeah.
So just crack the lid and use it like a double boiler just to warm it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Warm. And sometimes I'll add a little bit more honey for extra sweetness.
Yes.
Because once you do warm it up, you lose a bit of the body to it. So a little bit of honey back into it. So like a teaspoon to a glass is really nice, just to add a bit more sweet and body to it. Because usually a European sort of spice mead would be rather rich in those flavours that are added in the spices, and syrupy too in its just like the viscosity would be a lot greater.
Which would be your top selling mead out of these four? Which do most people tend to go for? Yeah,
spiced. And then there's a raspberry one too. So like where our spiced is reasonably easy drinking, so something you can have at room temperature. If you warm it up, you might add a bit more to it. The raspberry though is your full dessert, syrupy, rich, sweet, style of a mead.
Traditional mead, yeah.
And then the blackberry, we did something a little bit different. So it's a bit of a limited edition thing where we made it a little bit more tart, and a little drier too. So something you might have with like a heavy fatty dish, like a pork belly or something like that.
Yeah, great. I must admit, I do like that spice. That's really good.
It's a really easy drinking thing, and just warms you up inside. Oh, do you want to try the blackberry?
Yeah, let's go the blackberry.
They're all so different. There's kind of no progression with the way we taste these things. It's not like
like why we traditionally go from sort of whites to heavier reds.
Yeah, exactly. We can approximate it, but it doesn't really work with the different styles. They're all so different.
They are vastly different, aren't they?
So fresh raspberries will be frozen to begin with, and then defrosted. So the defrosting actually bursts all those little cells in the skins of the raspberries to let all the colour and flavour and the tannins out of those skins.
Yes.
Once it goes into the ferment. So we add it all in. So honey, berries, water, and then the yeast to ferment.
Yeah.
So it's all in there.
So I mean, obviously, mead is a combination of honey, water, yeast, and then you're adding various flavours like berries and so forth. How much honey goes into mead? I mean, what's rough breakup of water to...
Can be up to 50% honey.
Oh really? Okay.
Depends on where you want to end up with your alcohol levels and your flavours and that.
And obviously the more honey, the higher the alcohol level. More sugar.
More sugar, yeah. So more fermentation and so 50 is definitely at that higher end. I'd say most of these would be between like a 30-70, 60-40 sort of ratio.
Yeah, okay.
So still a lot of honey, a lot of honey goes into mead.
Yeah, great. No, it's interesting.
And most of our batches will be between sort of 500 to 1,000 litres per batch. Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your honey. So you've obviously got a variety of different honey here. This has been the core part of the business for many years?
Yes, well, yeah. Without the honey production, there would be no business. Initially, my father Rodney got into the honey business, the production of honey.
So second generation honey producers?
We say third, but probably really means second, because even my grandfather kept bees, except he took it up after Dad. So.
I hope you enjoyed our first episode of the Beekeeping Apprentice vlog. If you did, go ahead and subscribe, and that'll keep you up to date with the latest episodes. Also, if you are interested in getting into beekeeping, please visit us at www.beekeepingapprentice.com and you can consider doing one of our courses. Have a great day. See you next time.